And we're rolling. Hello. Shit. Hi everyone, my name is Desiree. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello. Welcome to the chaos. Welcome to the madness. Welcome to Illyria. I like to talk about health and wellness and fitness and getting better. The overall betterment of the self. We are here for the gratitude. We are here for the manifestation. We are here for the goals and the achieving of said goals. Why am I qualified to talk about this? Maybe. Because I'm human and we all go through life and we all exist. So, kudos for existing. Last year in 2020, if you haven't seen my last video, go check it out. It's a recap of the year that we most recently experienced that we don't really want to talk about, but have to acknowledge existed. I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for that year. And so while I'd love to just act like 2020 didn't happen, it in fact very much did, and I have to be grateful that it did. As awful as that is. Within the last year, I went on a journey of mental health and finding myself and overcoming obstacles, substance abuse issues, weight loss. I, for those of you who don't know, have struggled with binge eating disorder. I also have mental health issues. I also struggle with bipolar disorder, borderline personality disorder with a little dash of ADD. So if I move a lot, I'm sorry. Actually, no, you know what? I am not sorry. This is who I am. I am as the gods themselves designed me. We're gonna accept that. This is 2021. This is a new year. I ain't gonna say it's a new me because it's not. I am the me that came into this year. You are the same you. Today, we are going to discuss how to set goals for yourself that are attainable for the new year. I'm not going to say realistic because I think that when you set goals that seem very overwhelming, they can come off as unrealistic, and I don't believe in unrealistic goals. I just don't. I think it's a limitation that our mind sets for us, and it has to do with the ego and feeling like you're not good enough. I don't think that there are unrealistic goals. I'm sure that celebrities that started off as regular people didn't think that it was realistic to become some famous actor or whatever. Adam Driver, Sir Ren himself, did not come into it going, yeah, I'm gonna be a famous actor. Homeboy had to go to the military first. So, you shouldn't have to go through hardships to be able to accomplish goals either, and that's what I want to talk about today. I am the type of person that was never, ever able to accomplish goals before this past few months, honestly. I'm not even going to say the year, because half of the year I was still very much combating that issue. I procrastinate heavy. I have ADD, as I said. It is hard for me to sit down and decide that I'm going to do something and do that one thing for like the foreseeable future. I also have commitment issues. Which one weighs more? I don't know. And I'm yet to find out. Either way, I know that I'm easily distracted and that I need to have a couple things going on at once so that I have multiple things to do in case one of them I start to zonk out during. And I have to make sure that it's not too many, because I do have a tendency to get overwhelmed and shut down. My anxiety will say no, and I will completely shut down, go full armadillo, New Girl reference. What up? I will go full armadillo for the day, and I cannot go full armadillo or else I will never get anything done. So if this sounds like you, then you're gonna want to pay attention to this video. I'm just saying. You could not, but I think you're gonna want to. So I have found some key ways to make sure that all the goals that I am setting for myself are attainable. Again, steering away from the word realistic. A pandemic didn't sound super realistic going into 2020, but you know where we are? Here. So the most important thing that you're gonna want to remember, disclaimer super quickly, until these past few months, While I may have had this awareness that what I'm about to say is entirely true, it never clicked into place for me until these past few months. So I just want to put that out there, that while I may be giving you this information and you may have come across it by whatever means possible, you're definitely meant to hear this message, but it isn't guaranteed that it's going to click for you. That is something that comes with a little bit of soul searching, which I'd like us to do together. If you want to follow me along on this journey, like I said, I'm just learning all these things and putting them to use now. Be the person that's with me now. Be the person that takes these steps with me. A year is going to be a year. Where you end up at the end of that year is entirely up to you. The most important thing to remember is that consistency is key. However, it's not just any kind of consistency, it's sustainable consistency. Unless you have figured out ways to make things sustainable for yourself, you will not be able to accomplish anything without burning yourself out. That's just point blank, period. You need sleep. You need moments to care. You need moments to take to yourself. You cannot go balls to the wall. Like, it just doesn't work like that. I learned this most in correlation to my weight loss journey, actually. That is what really drove this home for me. For those of you who don't know, I lost 30 pounds last year. 15 of those pounds were the last 3 months of 2020. You know why? Sustainable consistency. I will never stop saying it. I learned that there is no cheat sheet to life. You need to know that right now. There is no cheat sheet to life. You cannot cheat the system. It is not how it works. The universe, in accordance with divine timing, so help them, the gods, okay? You will not cheat sheet life. You cannot do it. There is no cheat code. It does not exist, okay? Error 404 does not exist. You cannot do it. With this concept in mind, sustainable consistency, what I want you to do is make a list. Okay? I did mine too. I have this planner, again, not sponsored, just a product that I have. I happened to pre-order it, so I was lucky enough to have done that in time. It's this 2021 planner from Magic of I. This planner is actually so awesome, and I'm so glad I invested in it. It was a little pricey. I think it was between $40 and $50, and maybe that's nothing for you, but for me, balling on a budget, it was a little pricey, but I did invest in it for myself because I knew that I would get use out of it, and honey, I have. Spoiler alert. So a really cool thing about this journal is that it has you go through different categories of your life and note what you would like it to look like, and then actionable steps to get there. If I hadn't experienced the last 3 months of 2020, I wouldn't know what actionable steps look like. I do though, and so I'm sharing them with you. For example, I have a goal weight in mind. I'm gonna say right now, I don't know if it's the weight that's gonna look the best. So I can't tell you for sure what weight I'm gonna end up, but I know that I wanna lose at least another 30 pounds. I lost 30 pounds last year. I know that I can lose 30 pounds in a year. I only was determined the last 3 months of 2020. So I know that I can do it, even if I'm not 100% motivated 100% of the time. My fitness journey started because I took 15 minutes out of my day to do a HIIT workout. That was it. That was the commitment. 15 minutes a day, every day, for 1 month. I didn't even think it was gonna work. I was wrong. Because that's how it is. That's how weight loss works. That's how life works. When you take small steps towards something, you're going to get there eventually. But you're gonna have time to process it, you're gonna have time to chew through it, and you're gonna have time to be able to actually make the most of the journey on the way there. I'm gonna show you some examples of what I mean by setting goals and actionable steps. So I'm gonna open my planner, and we are going to go to one of the sections, just so that you have like a little breakdown. This can be things like love, friendships, so like social stuff, family, work, money, spirituality, mental, physical, all that jazz. How I did this was I like to meditate. It helps me clear my mind. If you aren't someone that meditation works for, then don't worry about that. But I like to do a long meditation before I do stuff like this so that I actually have time to sit there and just sit with it. And it feels wrong. It's gonna feel so wrong to take your sweet time and really go through your emotions, because this is a society that runs on Dunkin'. Everyone wants to go fast all of the time. As someone with borderline personality disorder, I am no stranger to emotional dysregulation. That is my disorder, okay? I know that it is hard for me to understand how I'm feeling, but it is 10 times harder to understand how you're feeling if you don't take the time out of your day to actually figure out how you're feeling. And guess what? If you don't know how you're feeling, it's gonna affect so many parts of your life you aren't even realizing it's affecting. Say you're in a relationship, you're mad at your significant other. You don't even know why you're mad at them. You know why? Because you're not dealing with your shit. That's my peace of mind for the day. I know, because it's happened to me frequently. We're gonna go through like my big goal in each category. So for starters, spirituality. Over the better half of a year, I've been focusing heavily on my spirituality in order to help keep my emotions a-flowing and to be able to really dissect how I'm feeling so that I can avoid lashing out on people due to some bipolar rage. A goal that I have for this year is to focus on a different chakra each month. I am someone who really feels like chakra work helps ground me, and starting from root to leaves, I really want to just get all up in this plant and really solidify my little tentacles into the soil. I've already started with the root chakra. I'm committing 15 minutes a day to a root chakra meditation that you can find on YouTube. I'll link them below. A channel that I recommend is Chaos Wins. I believe, if that's wrong, I'll type it here. I just like their sounds a lot better. So something with meditation, if one of your goals is to start meditating more, to be more mindful, find the meditation music that pleases your ears instead of makes you like want to scratch your ears out. I don't know. I don't know if everyone's like this, but for me, I have weird like sensory issues, and so I don't like chimes really. I don't mean wind chimes, but like the ding, ding, like it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. I hate it. If I were to force myself to listen to that for 15 minutes every day, I would no longer meditate. If you are a spiritual or religious person and you want to connect more with that, then focus about 10 to 15 minutes of your day moving forward in that direction. If you are non-practicing, then like you don't have to worry about it. But as someone who wanted to really connect more with my practice, as a Buddhist, I wanted to do this. And as a witch, I am making sure that I spend a decent amount of time also learning things of that sort. Which brings me to my next point. Have you had reading more books on your list every year for as long as you can remember? Look no further. This is how you do that. I didn't even realize that it was so much easier than I was making it out to be. I've been trying to finish this book forever, and every time I think about having to finish a book, I'm overwhelmed. I think about things and they stress me out, and the more I think about them, the more they stress me out, and the more I realize that there's more stuff that I have to do with it, and the more stressed out I get, and then sensory overload occurs, and I'm down for the count for the rest of the day. I will not move. When I think about reading a book that's like 300 pages, I want to cry. But you know what I realized? If I read 10 pages a day, every day, for a month, I'll have read those 300 pages. It doesn't take much to read 10 pages a day. It doesn't. And as someone with ADD, that's important to me because I lose focus very quickly. Pick something you want to read. Maybe it's educational, maybe it's fictional. Who knows? Pick something you want to learn about or a book you've wanted to read, and dedicate time in your day to to just read 10 pages. Maybe it's before bed, maybe start to have a quiet hour. It's up to you. I've been doing it normally before bed. I have some quiet time to journal and meditate and read my book and then go to sleep. It helps me disconnect from the social media world, and I think that that's good for a human brain. Which brings me to my next point, journaling. I write poetry personally, and I found that I'm the type of person that can only really work through their emotions in writing, just like free writing it out. Sometimes it's talking, but like just sitting there and writing out how I'm feeling and what's going on really helps me focus on where it's coming from and really helps me sort through things, because then I can see it physically. When I do that, I get a better understanding of where those thoughts are coming from, where they're headed, whatnot. So journaling is something that I've always wanted to do. And again, it's always seemed very overwhelming to me to have to sit down and write about it, because it forces you to confront that person in the mirror. And what I realize is that I need to do that, because otherwise I'm just not a very pleasant person to be around. You know, it's hard to tell. I seem so cheery, but it is a very real thing for me, and it is hard. Journaling is something of that sort. You are a being existing in this universe, and you should be able to feel that. And when you really feel that, that's what the term being in alignment means. When you are in alignment with your purpose, in alignment with the universe, you are aware of the energy that it holds, and it's a beautiful thing. The last thing that I have on my spiritual list is weekly hour-long meditations. As I said, meditating is something that really works for me. If it doesn't work for you, then don't worry about it. Personally, it helps me sit there, center, and focus. If I have an hour every week where I really delve in, say I've strayed a couple times, say I fell asleep through a couple of the 15-minute ones, if I take that 1 hour a week, even just that is strides compared to where I was. Think about it this way. Even if you read 10 pages a week, that is 10 more pages than you were reading last month. So that's my spiritual list. Now, financially, I have some goals too. I have always worried about my finances, and until recent times, I was very, very stressed out that that would never change. I, however, have switched my mindset, and since I've done that, it's helped me a lot, and honestly, money has come to me a little bit more easily, and that is the power of manifestation, baby. Moral of the story, think about how much you'd like to make in a month. Now think about your dreams. What makes you happiest doing? Now think about how doing just that can make money for you. It has to do with your personal skill set, and it has to do with what you have to offer. Everyone has something they have to offer that's different and that's new. And they have passions and knowledge on things that are different and new all the time. But we're all just so wrapped up in our heads and so afraid to just try. And that's why I'm here, because I'm actually trying. And whether this works out or not, I get to look back at this and know that this was a moment that changed me forever, and that is so awesome. I want to grow my YouTube channel. I would love to have YouTube be my documentation of how far I've come. And so whether or not anyone sees this particular video or any of the videos I've ever posted or will post, I am still so grateful to have mustered up the courage to just put myself out there and be vulnerable on a platform as public as this one with whoever the heck wants to watch it. I mean, you're just watching me talk. Isn't that lovely? I love talking. Take risks this year, because any risk you take is gonna help push you further ahead down your path. And that is so awesome. Work-wise, I have an Etsy shop in the works where I will be offering my tarot readings, as well as some spell jars for different things: protection, love, creativity, just general things. We want all the good vibes. The logos are being designed right now, and as soon as that's up, I'll have a whole probably video dedicated to it. But for right now, that is a very big goal of mine and something I'm taking small actionable steps towards. So say you want to open a shop. Take time to research. Take time to look at videos. Take time to write out a list. Take the time to figure out what your next steps are. Take into account where you're at right now. Write up a whole life for yourself, and then look at different ways you can get there. In my current situation, love-wise, I have a wonderful relationship with an incredibly sweet human, and the more that I work on myself, the more I see different ways that we can make our relationship even better. Remember that when you do have a significant other, working on yourself isn't selfish. It only makes your relationship stronger. And that's something that I'm learning right now as we speak. I'm learning to trust another human again. And that's scary because I have been hurt by many people. But I've also been hurt by myself, and I've laid a hand in ruining some of my relationships. So focus on yourself. Even if you're in a relationship, take the time to focus on yourself. I can't stress that enough. If you have goals and you want to accomplish those goals, you need to have time to focus on yourself. Because that is what sustainable goal achieving looks like. Love-wise, I have a great relationship. Work-wise, I'm taking actionable steps towards accomplishing my career goals of owning my own business, being on YouTube, making videos, making music, and writing poetry. That's what I want to do. I'm going to school for marine biology because I love animals. I'm determined to have a life that I'm in love with. And it doesn't matter what stage you're in, you can do that. You can love your life, even if you're not at your ending point. Because when are we ever at our ending point? Enjoy the journey. Mentally, I'm taking the actionable steps to get to where I need to get. It's not easy having any sort of mental disorder, but you work with what you got, because I really don't know another way of existing. And every day I get a little bit closer, and the weight that I carry around in my chest gets a little bit lighter. And I know it sounds silly, but something as simple as meditating 15 minutes a day actually helps me so much. Physically, the keys that I've found for me that work in terms of weight loss have to do with what I'm putting into my body and how I'm moving said body. None of the goals that I've mentioned today are easy, but all of them can happen. You just need to focus on things that are sustainable. So here's your homework for me. Take the time, take an hour of your day, and write out your dream life. And then look at your dream life compared to where you're currently at. And then you can start from forward and move back, or start from now and move forward. But in some linear fashion, you can see how you would get there. Start with one step that takes you halfway, and then backtrack that even more. And while it sounds like a lot and you're breaking it down super small, it's still taking little bites, and you will get there. I promise you will get there. All I'm saying is, life's what you make it. So let's make it right. You decide, 'cause life's what you make it. Life is what you make it. So anyway, you guys, I hope that you found this video helpful. If you liked it, please leave a thumbs up. Comment below what you would like me to talk more about. I'm going to be talking about a lot. This is health and wellness year, baby. Physical, mental, spiritual, all the things. If there's something that piques your interest more than others, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it. So 2021, here we come, baby. Health and wellness, let's go. I hope you guys are as hyped as I am. And again, if you want to follow this journey, if you are going on your own journey, you want to do this shit together, we can do this together, because I haven't reached there yet, but I am getting there. And so we're gonna get there together. I can feel it in my bones. I'm getting just like the spiritual tingles all over my body. We are gonna do this, and it is gonna be fantastic. So I'm so glad that I am here and existing, and grateful that anyone is watching this at all. So that is it for today, folks, and until next time, bye! Disney College Pros. I cannot talk today. Oh my Lanta. Is this thing on?